So, Update 6 of Anime Vanguards has been revealed. The main anime that's going to be covered for this update has been revealed, and I want to talk about it because the fans are extremely divided with this update, and yeah, it's going to be a pretty important video to cover. Okay, so first we're going to head on to general chat. Actually, we're going to head on to Sneaks first and cover the main thing that they're going to be adding. So, on the stage, they already mentioned that it was going to be an extremely niche stage, and a lot of people were not really expecting it. Like, nobody actually predicted it. Every main update we get a story stage and a legend stage. This is the map that we have right here. It's not any mainstream anime. It's a very niche anime. It's actually not even from an anime. It's from a game. It's from Guilty Gear, right? It's from Guilty Gear, and personally, I don't even know anything about Guilty Gear. I've heard it before, never really played it, and this is what we have for the anime. Now, the thing here is, a lot of people are very hyped for Update 6, right? A lot of people are very hyped for Update 6. And the anime that they chose for it, obviously, the anime really matters for a lot of people. They want, anime characters, because at the end of the day, anime tower defense games are about collecting the units. You want to collect maybe Yuhaba, you want to collect Naruto, you want to collect maybe Song Jinwoo Vanguard, Song Jinwoo, you want to collect Gogeta, because they're characters that you're a fan of, right? You don't really want to just collect those units because they have great stats or they have great passives or they're interesting. People want to collect those units interested in, and I think that's one of the reasons why people are quite disappointed with this, because they don't really know anything about Guilty Gear. And I get that sentiment from fans, but you guys actually voted on this, which they said right here. Would you guys be open to the idea of us basing some of our updates on anime games, not just anime show? Okay, since I want to try and keep this for both sides, like very neutral here, I think a reason why a lot of people said yes here is because people were probably expecting some anime like maybe Cyberpunk Edge Runners, for example. I don't think people were expecting niche updates when they voted for yes here. So I think that's one of the reasons why this is the case. Like, maybe if we made another poll with niche stuff, we would see a much more accurate result and maybe a more accurate depiction of what people actually, maybe want. But I think, again, a lot of people probably voted yes because they were thinking something like Cyberpunk Edge Runners or maybe Devil May Cry, the latest anime for Devil May Cry on Netflix. However, there's also a counterpoint to this, right? Because I'm seeing a lot of people right here say that's a perfect fit for a PvP themed update. Ficep even said this, and honestly it is. And there's a lot of things that you could argue for this anime choice, and there's a lot of things that you could argue against. Like, if you go to general chat right here, the 5% of people that know what GG is so happy. I wonder what other 95% of the player base will think seeing an unknown game that they have zero clue who the characters are or what they do, and seeing the entire update be based upon it. And then here's a very interesting comment they have right here. Tekken is a known worldwide, yet we still ain't naming a single character. And even a Tekken fan, I don't even gotta look up some characters like Mokujin is only one of the only ones I know by name. Also, we are in the age of the internet, and you can't even bother to do 1 minute search of the Tekken roster, in my opinion. Now, Tekken is, in my opinion, bigger than Guilty Gear. I think Tekken is bigger than Guilty Gear. However, you have to consider the fact that Tekken, the design choices, right? If you take a look at the design for Tekken and Guilty Gear characters, so you can see right here that some of the Tekken characters are actually like pretty basic. They're just they do have drip, right? But the design for them and their movesets are pretty basic at the end of the day. It's just them punching stuff, except for Devil Jin and some of the other ones. That is a pretty fair argument that I've seen some people bring up. But then you move on over to Guilty Gear and you see a lot of these characters with awesome designs. Like, I have never heard of Guilty Gear before, okay? I've heard of Guilty Gear before, sorry, but I've never played it. And if you take a look at the character designs, right, they are some of the, pretty interesting character designs. Not very well known, but again, very interesting character designs that we have right here. But again, at the end of the day, for people, it's not really about the character design. I think this is why a lot of people are mad. It's not really, for a lot of people, it's not really about character design. It's about them knowing and being a fan of what's getting added, right? And I think that's one of the reasons why people are mad, right? There's a lot of people who like it, and there's a lot of people there's more people, I think, who dislike it. I think that dislike it because they don't know what Guilty Gear is. And I think it all boils down to the fact that they don't really know this anime. And tower defense games, at the end of the day, it's not just about, collecting units. This is one of the reasons why remodels are hated by the anime community, right? They come here because they want to collect identical looking anime characters to the anime that they know and love, right? That's why remodels, especially the ones in AnimeDefenders and AnimeDefenders, are hated by the community because they no longer look like the anime characters they know and love. So it's not really about having great design, it's about, you know, them being familiar with these characters, the way they look, because they want to collect them. But again, you can't always expect all the tower defense games in Anime Vanguards, or all the animes that are gonna get added in Anime Vanguards, to be, you know, the mainstream animes. You can always expect it to be Naruto. You can always expect it to be One Piece. You can always expect it to be Dragon Ball, or Bleach, or Fire Force, or all those other anime options, because that would also get pretty stale eventually. That would also get pretty stale. So there is two sides of this coin. And also, I think it really is their choice at the end of the day. The developers, they want to add something new to this genre. They want to innovate. They want to add something new. They don't want to keep it the same. They don't want to keep it the same anime. They want to try and innovate. And I really get where the developers are coming from. They want to innovate. They want to make new stuff, and it's really good. And I think what I'm gonna say honestly is, let us give it a chance, because Anime Vanguards Update 6 is not just going to be about Guilty Gear anyways. It's also mainly going to be about PvP, because PvP, one of the biggest additions, is going to get added in Update 6. And it's going to be a very insane update. It's going to be very insane. I played the game mode myself. It's going to be pretty crazy, and I think a lot of people will like it. But then again, there's something here that I think a lot of people are saying that I kind of connect with as well. Why do they keep adding these unknown animes to AV? Do they not realize the community wants real animes like Naruto? Oh my goodness, I'm not gonna continue reading that. Then this one right here, I don't want niche for the sake of niche either. It's boring and forced that way. Lots of people seem excited for Guilty Gear, and ultimately I think if the gameplay and mechanics are fun and well made, it doesn't really matter. I don't want some unknown 13 episode anime, but I don't want 20th Pain arc update either. And this is actually very, very fair and very, very well put together in my opinion, because adding a niche update just for the sake of adding niche is not really a good idea. But we also don't want to keep adding, you know, the same Pain arc update. And I don't think that this is something that they added just for the sake of it being added, because again, Guilty Gear is a pretty good choice, because again, the character choices are the best in all of the fighting games that are pretty famous, that also have an anime, Street Fighter and Tekken and Guilty Gear. This one right here has the best, in my opinion, character designs, right? So you would probably have more fun playing with this and have more fun making better mechanics for these units than, you know, units in Street Fighter and Tekken, because again, those are so basic. So here's my final thoughts, okay? I will say that I understand where people are coming from when they're saying this is such a niche update that they might not really enjoy it, because they can't they're not enjoying the anime, because again, most people are hyped for these updates because it's animes they're fans of, it's animes that they've watched, it's animes that they grew up with possibly, and they really, really want to see. And I get why people feel that way. I get why people dislike how niche this update is. But on the other hand, I want people to realize that sometimes we have to experiment as well. Sometimes we have to, you know, test new things, try new things out. And the Anime Vanguards devs has honestly never really disappointed us when it comes to this, when it has come to, you know, making cool gameplay mechanics and cool unit passives. So in my opinion, try to maybe limit your expectations, and also try to maybe still understand that they're trying to innovate, and also try it out before you judge, you know, because maybe this update would be the most peak update ever, right? So try it out before you judge. And I mean, if you hate it, you know, when the update releases and you absolutely hate it, then that's fair. But I think it's not really fair that we're judging this update before it even comes out. Like, yeah, it's niche, but it could still be peak, right? Anyways, that's pretty much it. Don't forget to like and sub, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.